when the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid, just as long as you.
Well, hello everyone, we are back, June 2022,
Hello.
with another vlog.
Nice to see you.
Hello.
Also, by the way, if you care to listen to the rest of that, then just stay tuned to the end. But we have a lot to talk about today.
Yeah, we
This
do.
is kind of one of the most major vlogs, I guess, that we've had ever,
Yes,
right?
It is.
We have a couple of announcements. There's some stuff going on in June, and just some stuff that we're going to be talking about today. We have a pretty major announcement. We have our anniversary, our channel anniversary that's coming up this month. So we'd like to discuss that, as well as just some other stuff. And so we're going to leave some timestamps down below in case you'd like to jump around. First, how are you? How are you enjoying the start of the summer? Right?
It's getting warm here in Southern California, that's
It's
for sure.
Hot here,
Yeah,
actually.
so it makes filming time a little bit tough because we get kind of used to our
Yeah.
California winters where it's like 65 degrees and
Fahrenheit.
And so during the summer times, you really have to time out when exactly are we going to film. We're going to film early or we're going to film super late.
Yeah, it also makes sleeping hot.
Yes, it does.
It's been pretty warm lately, but I guess we can't complain, seeing as there are other areas of the world or even the country that don't get this kind of sun.
Mm-hmm.
So otherwise, I guess we will start with our major announcement. I think we teased this in our last vlog, and there were a few guesses. I'm not pregnant. That was one that I know that people were thinking was the thing.
We did see
Not
a couple
that.
of those comments, yes.
Yes. But what it is, over the past couple of years, I've had a really stressful job. We're both healthcare providers. And I work in primary care. I was one of our lead kind of providers for our COVID patients in primary care, so not in a hospital setting. And so as of last week, I left my job.
She's done.
I'm done.
Yes.
I'm not working anymore, and I'm going to be going full time in content.
Yes.
So this is something that we've actually been discussing with our Patreon community for the past couple of months while we were kind of going through the deliberating process. We were really thinking about this. We were talking about it together and thinking about it for a while now, and they're very, very supportive. And it was something that I'm so grateful for, the emotional support of that, of the community.
Mm-hmm.
But I finally pulled the trigger. I'm no longer working. And so what this means is, at least for the next few months, I'm going to be doing content full time.
Yep.
I'm going to be working on videos just every day during the week. We're going to be able to put out a lot more videos on the channel. And we're both really looking forward to that. And those are just the implications for the channel. But just in our daily lives, we've been able to do things that we love, that we haven't been doing. For
Other
the past
hobbies, yeah.
few years. Clearly we started playing music again, which
Yeah.
is something that we used to really love doing.
Yeah, we kind of like wax and wane with the music, but I think over the past year and a half, we hadn't played too much, so we're definitely getting back into it.
Right. When things became really stressful with my job, we kind of stopped doing things that we loved, and it just became really difficult. At my job, I went through 3 strong waves of COVID in California, and by the time the third one hit this past January, I had to call it quits.
Yeah, you're over it.
Could no longer maintain that emotional stability for that kind of job, I suppose. And so things are way better now. We're able to enjoy doing content more too. So it's just happiness levels overall have increased quite a bit, even in just the week that it's been.
Yeah, and just that flexibility now of being able to go to game night and just have host or go to different game nights. Before, we have to get up early for the work the next day, or we have to film something early before going to work. Now that kind of stress and that barrier of being able to do all the things that we want to do is just kind of lifted.
Yeah, we have our weekends again.
Yeah, we have our weekends again.
That's quite the concept that we haven't really had the freedom of just having a weekend free.
Just a full weekend, yeah.
We only have non-content weekends when we have events scheduled to see friends and family, but now we just have regular weekends again.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So I don't know how long we'll be able to maintain this. I'm gonna be doing content full time for the foreseeable future. I may end up picking up a job again in the next few months if I need to. But the reality of that is, if I were to go back to my job full time, especially, then we would honestly have to drop the channel. That is...
Yeah, we couldn't maintain the pace of everything that we've done over the past 2-3 years.
Yeah, we're coming up on 3 years. We're going to have our 3-year channel anniversary this month. And yeah, there's no way that we could maintain something like that, especially if now going into a new job, I would have to work full time. We would just not be able to do the channel at all.
Yeah.
Because the reality as well is, by the time you see a playthrough go live on a channel, that is easily 12 hours of work per video. And that includes, the editing, the
learning of the game, really grasping the concept so that, Monique does most of the teaching, but then so that it can be taught eloquently and succinctly, and then the actual playing of it takes time, setting up, getting ready for it, filming it, all that stuff, and everything afterwards. So yeah, it takes many, many hours just to get one of these videos out.
Right. So the next couple of months are definitely going to be a testing period for us, but we have high hopes, and we're just going to take every day one step at a time, I suppose.
Yep.
Now, what this means for the channel, besides us just putting out more content and hopefully more different types of content than we have been doing in the past, we're going to be continuing to do sponsored content, right? Because we have to make our time worth it. And this is not new. We've been doing Kickstarter previews. We've been doing sponsored playthroughs for a while now. And we're going to continue doing those, but we're also going to continue reviewing, although our reviews are going to be primarily in the Let's Talk Board Game multi-review format, as well as some of the playthrough and reviews that we have been doing. But those are mainly going to be selected by our Patreon community. So this is something that we've been we just started. We've been doing polls for the past year and a half, but now our polls are really focused on which playthrough with a review do you want to see next. And we're going to let that decision be 100% the Patreon community. Unless, of course, there's just a game that we want.
Of course, we can always just say we really want to do this one. Yeah.
Right. And so if you enjoy the type of content that we produce, or you just would like to see the channel, continue, I suppose, there are several ways in which you can help. And most of them are non-financial. We respect the fact that everybody has their own financial situation, and just continuing to watch the videos, liking, commenting, sharing with other people, those are ways in which you can help any content creator that you enjoy watching, and they're huge.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen a bunch of other YouTubers out there, not just in board gaming, saying like, comment, and share. Like, that honestly really does help a lot. So that's just something as basic as that. That's really helpful for our channel.
Oh yeah, and we are so thankful, for everybody, because we feel very fortunate to be where we are in terms of our channel right now, and to get the amount of support that we do already. So we really want to thank you all, for this, especially now coming up on our 3rd channel anniversary. So big thank you to everybody, because we really, really, really appreciate the support. Now, if you are interested and able to support financially, we do have a Patreon, and we are going to talk about it a little bit here. So we've had a Patreon for the past year or so. We have a Patreon community on there. We used to have a tier system that we recently dropped, and we're so thankful to everybody who is a member of the Patreon currently, because dropping the tiers has honestly allowed us to provide more content on Patreon, to be more candid, to just be able to talk about the stuff that we'd like to talk about. And so for the past month or so, in addition to just putting out polls where they can decide on what games they want to see us play and review, we've also started our first episode of a mini podcast.
That's right.
That we did. That was a lot of fun.
That was a very rough test, but I think it came out okay.
Yeah, it was fun. And it's so, this type of content is so rough that we most likely will be just keeping it.
I think so.
On the Patreon.
Yeah, I think so.
So we're going to be continuing that, and we do have plans about talking about the BGG Top 100 and just other topics in that short form podcast that we do. We also did a couple of live streams last month where we did a play along specifically with the community. And now that I'm full time, I started doing a weekly to bi-weekly, almost like a content journal, where every week I make a video just myself and I just share with them what I'm working on for the week in terms of full-time content creation. So it kind of helps doing two things. It keeps them up to date with exactly what is going to be released on the channel, but it also kind of gives an insight as to what it looks like doing this full-time. Because it's not just making videos. Actually, there's a lot more to it than that.
I think a third part is it kind of keeps like a little bit of accountability also. Yeah, it kind of keeps you going,
Yeah, I'd say so. We also do a Patreon-specific monthly vlog, and anytime we have new games coming in or games leaving, especially when we go to conventions, we share that in the Patreon. As well as some first impressions. We kind of just do a bunch of random stuff.
Random stuff, just like stuff that's like, we're in our pajamas. Let's just talk about this game real quick. Yeah.
So if that sounds interesting to you at all, the link is always in the description of any of our videos. But again, there's never any pressure. We just appreciate any form of support that anybody's able to provide. And that's about it for that. That is our main,
news.
Our big news. That is the big thing that's happening in our household. Dexter's happy.
Dexter's extremely happy. Yeah.
Happiest boy.
Yeah, leaving the house now is even harder because he's just so used to somebody being home all the time.
Yeah. And I know in the last video, I also teased about a special surprise kind of mini series that we were going to do. It hasn't started. I had a little bit of anxiety about starting it, but I won't say what it is.
It'll just show up.
It'll just show up.
You'll see
and
it.
And I'll let you know
okay.
that it's that.
Yeah. All right, moving on to our next topic, something that we alluded to at the very beginning. It is coming up on our 3-year channelversary. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like we were just talking about our 2-year, but here we are at 3. I guess that's how time works. So we are going to be planning on doing something special. We were trying to figure out what we wanted to do, and we've decided on doing a live stream.
Yeah, we couldn't really figure out, honestly, what to do. I don't think we celebrated it at all last year.
I think we said, like, we'll figure something out, and we're like, it just passed.
But it was just so difficult to juggle work and the channel. So now we're like, you know what, we got to do something. So we are going to do a live stream. It's going to be primarily like a live Q&A, and it's going to be on Sunday, June 26th, I believe it is. And we're going to do it at 11 a.m. Pacific. So that is, 11 a.m. our local time. And it's a pretty open-ended live stream. We mainly just want to hang out. We would love for you all to join us. If you have any questions that you'd like to bring to the live stream itself, we're going to be answering those live as well. But we just have a list of Q&A questions that people have sent in previously, and any that you all want to send in, leave it in the comments down below, and we'll include it in the list. And we'll just be maybe playing a game and answering questions.
Yeah, I think we're just going to keep it loose and light. We won't take up too much time. I think maybe like an hour or so, something like that.
Yeah, an hour or maybe less, something like that. It's not going to be very long, but just to kind of be able to talk live with everybody and maybe thank you ourselves and celebrate together.
Yeah.
So again, the time for that is going to be 11 a.m. Pacific. Leave a comment down below with any suggestions for anything that you hear in the vlog, and we'll read them all. And on that note, also send me any game recommendations that you just would recommend me playing, because in addition to just doing the content full time this summer, I am on a personal journey to play as many games as possible. As many games that we've been wanting to play, that we're putting on the back burner, that we have them on our shelf of shame. I'd like to visit board game stores and just connect with people and play as many board games as possible. So if you have any suggestions as to any games that you think we'd like, then please leave them in the comments below and I'll add them to my own personal list. And before we end the vlog and discuss our favorite gaming experiences of the month, coming up on our channel this month, we have a few games that we're going to be doing playthroughs of. There's going to be a Kickstarter this Thursday for the new Mind Clash game. It's not a secret or anything. They've already released several preview content on designer diaries and stuff through their Instagram and social media platforms, and so we're going to be producing a playthrough for that game. So stay tuned for that.
That's going to be on Thursday the 16th.
Week. Yes. We're also putting out a playthrough and review that we are probably not going to announce here because we haven't discussed it with the Patreon just yet.
Yes, that's right.
So you'll just see it. It's going to be around Tuesday or Wednesday or so. We're also going to be exploring Burn Cycle, which is a game that was heavily anticipated by Naveen.
I think it was on my most anticipated games of 2021 list.
Yeah, something like that.
A long time ago, maybe like 15, 16 months ago, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's finally here, and Monique has played it.
I have played a little bit of it.
She's played a little bit of it. I still haven't played it yet, so we're going to get a couple games in.
It's intense. We're practicing for it.
And yeah, we have plans to do a playthrough for it.
So keep an eye out for that as well. And you might see some more Root coverage. So that's everything that we can promise for now. There's a lot of stuff that's planned, but not everything we can announce. So just stay tuned.
And last thing, I know we said a couple last things. We did an interview a little while back, which is now, there's a link live for it, for a
crowdfunding platform.
Crowdfunding platform, yes. That's how it is. It's called Game on Tabletop. So if you are interested in checking that out, there is a link in the description down below.
I think that's it. Those are all the last. What are your favorite gaming experiences of the month, Naveen?
Favorite game. So it's of the last 2 months, right?
Yeah, since the last time we did this.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it. I didn't want to say the same one because we do have Cuba Libre going on, which is something I talked about last time.
Yes.
That is a double runner-up. That's something that's constantly being played, so that one's there for sure. My runner-up.
No, you're number one.
Number one, then you go to runner-up. You always go runner-up, and then you work your way to the...
No, we always do the other way.
All right, fine. Okay.
It's been so long.
My number one gaming experience of the month has got to be a game that I was not anticipating. This is Anno 1800. I've never played the video game, so it's a board game that's based off of a video game, which I don't even know. It's like a resource management city builder kind of, but you're not building a city, you're just building industry builder.
Yeah.
And it's just cube conversion the game. Like take these to build this, to get that, to then use this to fulfill a contract.
Right.
But you can use kind of like almost like a Seven Wonders kind of aspect where you can trade with the people who are also playing the game, to your left and to your right. And so you don't want to always build up, all the industries. You want to be able to use other people's infrastructure to do things, and they get a benefit for you doing it. So it was really, really fun. I've only played it once so far, but really, really enjoyed it.
I believe you can trade with anybody at the table.
Anybody.
I don't think it has to be left and right. But
I guess I mean like you take the elements of Seven Wonders, trading to left or right, but apply it to everybody.
I will say, now we're going out of order here, but I will say that is my runner-up, probably gaming experience of the month. That was a really neat experience, really neat design. Struggles at 2, so don't play it at 2. Play it at 3.
I think 3 is the right number for that one. Yeah.
Well, what is your runner-up since I hijacked?
Okay, my runner-up is a game that we played at Strategicon, which is our local convention here in Southern California. We always talk about it, and it is a game called Nidavellir. This was one that was highly recommended by a couple friends of ours. We didn't play it with those friends, but he had talked it up a lot, and so finally got to play it. And yeah, it's really, really good. We played We played it with the expansion, so now Thingvellir, which now going back and now playing the base game only, I'm wondering how that's going to sway my opinion. Do I feel like I'm going to be missing something, or does it feel like, oh no, this is fine just by itself? So
interesting.
Yeah, it's a interesting game where you're basically trying to score different categories of cards. They all score in different ways, and you're trying to bid to have the rights to pick which cards you're going to take. And then you're trying to increase your coins, which are your bidding currency in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an interesting game. I really, really, really like that one too. I'm not really big on auction games, but that's a cool one.
Yeah.
And we're going to do more of a review for that. That's going to be on a future Let's Talk Board Games episode that we're planning. Mm-hmm. Good choice.
Thank you. And let's hear yours. What you got?
My number 1, since I already gave away my runner-up, is another game that we played at Strategicon. Or I played it. I don't think you didn't play it with me. And it was a game called Carnegie. This is the game that was on Kickstarter or something. It was crowdfunded. And
also on our anticipated list.
Yeah,
both of our anticipated lists.
And it was the very first time that I got to play it. It was my friend's copy, and I did very, very badly. I think I came in last, but it was really neat experience. I thought that it was going to be a lot more of an economic game than it was, but it was a lot of worker management. You're building these parts of your board, and then you need to move your workers around in order to utilize those things that you built.
Okay.
And then there's a strong follow mechanism. So when somebody takes an action, you can try to follow that action if you're able to. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to put things in position so that when I'm taking an action, you can't
passively
follow me.
Oh,
but when
I see.
You follow, or when you take the action, I can follow you.
Okay,
right?
Gotcha.
So you want to zig and zag where appropriate.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So did you played against somebody who was experienced in the game?
No.
Oh, you guys all learned it?
We all played for the first. Oh, I think my friend whose game it was, I think she had played it a couple of times online, which is obviously a very different experience. But I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. Tool did the art, and I think what I heard was that the game came already punched. Can you believe that? An already punched game.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh my goodness.
There's something ceremonial about punching, but when you get into content creation and you have to punch a lot of games, it can be a little bit of a drag.
Very time consuming, but anywho, those are our favorite gaming experiences as of late. Of course, we would love to hear yours, as usual. Please leave us a comment down below. And if you have any input on anything that you heard here today, please, feel free to leave those suggestions as well.
Oh, definitely. If you do have questions for the live stream, prioritize that in the comments below because we'd like to pull from there.
Yes.
Thank you all so much for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more like this in the future, please consider subscribing.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye. Stand by me. So darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me. So darling.